What's going on, everybody? Boilon here, and today we have a special video on Lord of the Rings Home. We have Nooch Too Good back, aka Nooch, on the channel. You guys might have recognized him from I think it's been about a week or so ago. I think we talked about Elrond, actually, in fact. So we're back here to talk about elves again, but, we're here to talk more specifically about, Arwen's coming out in a couple of days, and, what's the plan, what's going to happen, in the couple of weeks to come as well. So, welcome, Noosh. Thanks for coming back on the show.
Yeah, thanks for having me, man. It's good to see you.
So let's talk about elves. So if you're ready to go, everybody, then let's boil this down. Okay, I want to start here in the arena screen. So, how is your arena? How are you doing in arena? What are you doing right now in your game? Let's just start there.
I'm actually sitting at silver 1, gold 2, right in that range. I started on launch day, and all the folks that played in the beta and, got all their gold refunded or all their gems refunded. And, I'm really kind of hopeless in arena right now, no matter what I do. And even with I took my Ironhide to 7 stars. I got a video, a little
I saw that. Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah,
how's that going?
It was fun, but it did set me back. It's like it was 750,000 gold that I could have used elsewhere, and about a week of delayed farming to save up that gold that I could have used elsewhere.
Yeah, I think we're in the same arena shard because we did, so I started in I guess they call it the limited time release, which was like 2 weeks earlier. But I think if you started on day 1 of global launch, you still got into arena shard 1, which is where I am. So I think we're in probably the same top people up here. And so I'm actually falling behind a little bit. So I'm not as far back as you are, but I am in gold 2, and I used to be in like gold 1. I was even hovering around mithril, and now I can't because I'm not investing in my arena team anymore because I'm getting ready for elves. And so I am putting, I think, levels into some of these characters, but I'm not doing any more gear. And so that's where I'm struggling because that's a huge stat jump, is the gear tiers. And so what are you saving right now? Are you hoarding anything, or how are you using your resources?
I'm kind of at a crossroads. I'm trying to figure out what I'm doing because, I want to get the elves, and my goal is to unlock Elrond on day 1 for everybody to be here and get them to, 5 stars, 6 stars, 7 stars on day 1, just so what it's all about. Mm-hmm. And my assumption / hope / expectation is that when you do that, that will be my arena team, right? That then I will have an arena team that I can climb with, because I don't think I can develop a team of Eowyn and the Rohirrim plus the Ironhide. I don't think I can develop it fast enough to get up in arena by the time Elrond is here. So, and even with Arwen, we were talking before we started, you're going to get her at 3 stars, and 3 stars is a viable star level in the game right now. But I'm competing against people that are probably level 50, 55, 60, and I'm not going to get to the top of that arena with what I got right now.
Yeah, so actually, that's the one thing I really like about this, and it seems like this is very much a Star Wars Galaxy kind of release method approach, is that 3-star free-to-play, or at least you're pretty easily free-to-play, like you're not really doing much to get it. Whereas in Marvel Strike Force, you have to work really hard to get like a 3-star character. Like the event is like a week long, and you have to do a lot of effort to even get 3-star. It's crazy. So, this one feels a bit nicer, and I guess the people watching this is going to be a mix of people, both from Star Wars and from Marvel Strike Force now. Mm-hmm. So it's interesting to see that difference, and that's why I like having you on, because I get that sort of experience from the Star Wars side, which, this game is, I would say, largely going to be based on, more so. But as far as these other... so in terms of getting Arwen higher, what are you expecting? So we need 5-star for... Okay, it's not officially announced, so you probably saw what I saw, or similar stuff about the data mines, things like that, which it did not... They haven't officially confirmed elves, but are we saying that that's pretty much the case at this point?
I think it seems fair that we're going to need 5 elves to get Elrond, and... the data mine just says elves, which kind of goes along with some of the early, Galaxy Heroes events where it wasn't specific characters that you needed. They kind of go to that later. But if I'm looking at what I need to get Elrond, we're going to get Arwen this week, and then next week we're going to get, is it Elendil?
Yeah, Eladin, probably the tank.
Eladin, yeah. it's hard for me to imagine them making the event super friendly to people that don't have those two characters, at 5 stars. So what I expect is, and the way it works in Galaxy Heroes is you're able to unlock every character on the marquee event to 3 stars with, you described earlier as just a tutorial, right? It really is. It's just a tutorial to say, let's practice with this character in 4 game nodes. You see there 1 through 6.
Yeah.
So 4 game nodes, you're just practicing. Number 5 might be some extra resources or something just to get some real practice with characters on your roster. And then 6 would be like, here's a bonus tier if you've got her at 4 stars. So if you get her at 4 stars, which means you'd have to go spend to buy some extra shards, then you can play this bonus tier that'll get her to like 4.5 stars. And then you got to go buy the stars, or there's other ways to get the stars as well in the game. But it does look like there's a lot of gold that's going to be available in the event, which is pretty exciting. So that if you get her to 3 stars or 4 stars, and then you go and pay for those extra shards, you would be able to upgrade her to that 5-star level plus.
So this is what I'm curious about, because this event, I don't remember if they said how long this event is actually going to be live, but Tier 6 says 5-star Arwen required. So based on your knowledge, how are we getting from 3-star to 5-star for you to possibly even activate this?
Money.
But is it so? In what form though? Like, is it going to be an offer, just like a flat out offer,
Yeah.
or is it going to be? Is she going to be buyable for gems? I don't know what's the direction of travel for that.
So the way it would work is you get her to 3 stars, and immediately she's right there in the shop, right there.
Okay.
So on day 1, you can buy an Arwen pack that'll have whatever 50 shards of Arwen or 100 shards of Arwen, whatever it takes to get to 4 stars. I think it's 80 actually, right? To 4 stars.
80 and so we need 210 though to bridge the gap to 5 stars. So
yes, you get those extra 80 shards, you take her from 3 to 4 stars, and there'd be some gear and there'd be some gold and XP, and it would cost you $50 or $30 or $20 or whatever. And so you can get her to 4 stars by spending that $20-$30. Then you go back into the event, you play the final node, and that would get you another like 50 to 80 shards, but it wouldn't get her all the way to 5 stars. And then there would just be packs available. So the way it works in Galaxy Heroes is then there are the gambling packs that you open with gems. So for 900 gems or 800 gems, you open a pack that'll give you between 5 to 810 shards of Arwen in one shot.
So is that going to be different than it'll have their own Arwen chest or something? Is that what you're expecting? And then you gamble. Do it that way,
yeah, you'd have an Arwen chest there, and it would cost you 800 gems or whatever, and it would say chance at a 7-star Arwen, or maybe they do 5-star, whatever they do. And then now the good thing about this game that I've noticed is they actually put the chances for the characters in the chest, so you can see what your odds are.
Yeah.
And I think they do it in Galaxy Heroes now, but for years, 6+ years, you had no idea,
really,
except for beta mines and stuff, what your chances actually were.
Really, because I think
you knew they were low because nobody ever got it. But yeah, so they should have you should have a chest in the just for you place you can spend $20 on or whatever. Get a bunch of shards of Arwen, get her to 4 stars, then go play the final node of the event where you get some more stuff for Arwen. Then if it follows Galaxy Heroes, there'll be those chests for 800 gems that you open up, and it's a gamble. You get 5, 7, 10, 15, 20, blah, 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 maybe up to 810 full 7-star shards. I don't know if they'll do it that way exactly, but that's how it works in Galaxy Heroes.
So here's another question. So before Elrond gets released, will there be a free-to-play path to get shards for Arwen or Elrond beforehand, or no? Do you think?
The best case you would get is that you would go back to the supplies. Go back to supplies. So your best case there is that she'll be available here for like 5 shards for 150, but it could be 5 shards for 300.
A premium cost.
Yeah, it might be a different price point. And we'll find out here pretty shortly. We're going to find out on Thursday how they work it. Maybe later. But her availability in this shop would still be 2 to 3 weeks out, or somewhere in that range. I mean, I'm kind of thinking Elrond will be here maybe late June, early July, be my guess if I had to take a shot at it.
Okay.
But you're going to get Elrond in a couple weeks, but she might be in this shop for like these prices, but if I had to guess, I would bet these prices will be elevated for the Arwen shards, and she would be in the shop maybe before Elrond comes. But you might, I don't know. It's tough to really measure. In Galaxy Heroes right now, she would be available before the event launches, but I don't see this dragging out
Mm,
3 months or more
right,
on this. Where, they got a lot of the time to really put her into a lot of different places. But if that
for sure.
happens, it would be here. I just don't know if people will have the crystals available to do it unless you stop all of their farming.
And so my concern is I actually don't want to buy really Arwen. So I'm actually not really like that enthused about Arwen, but it's about Eladin. And Eladin's going to come later, which means that, if I want to get him to 5-star for this event, because there's 6 elves, so I don't have to have both Arwen and Eladin, but I want to have Eladin. And so does that make that timeline even tighter if you're trying to go for him rather than Arwen? And whether or not, like, I would consider myself a light spender now in Lord of the Rings. I normally am free to play in like Marvel Strike Force, but here I'm buying. I bought 2 gem packs now. But is that going to be enough for me? And I don't. If I have to get from 4 to 5-star just from buying gems, I don't think even I can do that. Like, I'd have to spend more to get there. So I'm just wondering if there's any way to bridge, or if there will be. And I guess we don't know 100%, but whether or not I would be able to bridge that 4-star to 5-star Eladin, because he's going to be, for the most part, the new characters are going to be that roadblock to getting him, because the other characters you can farm right now, which I'm already doing.
Yeah, you can farm 4 elves, but you need 5.
Yeah.
And again, Eladin is the tank. I guess that what's her name, the blonde elf. I don't know her name, but I guess she's a tank too.
Leliel? But she's not part of the Elrond team though. She's not Rivendell.
Well, but neither is Naramiri. She's not Rivendell.
You're right.
Either.
Yeah, I know. So it's Elro here, Lomian. I don't like Lomian, by the way. I don't like his kit. I think that he might get chopped from the team for, like, I don't know, in Arena. You might just throw Ironhide Troll in there, because why not, right? Because you could. But
I think in Arena you might have Strider in there, because Strider has, he works with. I always want to say
Rangers.
He works with Arwen. They've got an ability they use together.
No, that got cut. Did you not notice that? That team up got cut.
Oh, no, I didn't notice that.
Yeah, maybe you didn't look at the kit. So it was part of her, and I'll bring it up here. It was part of, I believe, this skill, Deadly Earnest, and it had a team-up version where it said if you had Strider, it would do more damage, but now it's nowhere in the kit description.
That's weird.
Because this is the damage one, and then she would have a team-up attack. It's even in the game's trailers that there was like a team-up cutscene. It's not there anymore. They cut it. So
I hadn't noticed. Honestly, I looked at it when it first came out, and then I've been out of town for several days, and I hadn't looked back at the kit. Wow, that's well, then maybe you wouldn't, but still, you might maybe throw an Ironhide in there for. I mean,
that's what I mean. He's so strong, right? Like, standalone, his AOE damage is just nuts. So yes. I wouldn't be surprised if you just chop Lomian and just throw him there, because
and at this point of the game, there's going to be synergies, but I'd imagine there's still going to be a lot of mix and match and a lot of theory crafting with it, because when you look at like an Eowyn on a team, even on a team like that, with her initial ability where she grants might, and whoever has the most might attacks. Really so if you have her in there with Ironhide, and then you have, Eowyn and Eladon and Elrond, then maybe that becomes the meta, because she's just such a great support character. But we don't really know till we get it. But
I wanted
Elrond here fall into place.
Yeah, so I started pivoting, and now my Elro here is Gear 6, alongside some of my other light characters are Gear 6, but I had to basically put everything else on pause, and that's what I'm concerned about, is this pivot. So now I'm taking that hit in Arena, like I mentioned in the beginning, but I'm hoping that this is good in the way that eventually, once I get to level 60, things will even out, and the elves will be that sort of Arena meta. Or however many characters you use, plus Ironhide or whatever. And I hope that I'll maybe take a short-term hit, but hopefully longer-term, I'll, get above the other people. That's my hope.
I think that's true, 100%. I think that Elrond's going to be at the top of the meta, like immediately, and there'll be a certain number of people that have unlocked him and can use him, but I think we'll all get much more competitive with that unlock. And I'm planning to unlock him on day one, like I said. Did I say that on here yet?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah. I'm going to try to. We'll see if I get there. And then we'll compare our progress. So right now, I'm farming Lomian twice a day. I'm refreshing him, so I'm doing him twice a day. Leliel twice a day, and then Naramiri's on hold until I get Elro here to 5-star. But I think what's really good, like I said, Arwen or Eladin is going to be the lock. You're going to need one of them at 5-star, and whether or not you have enough cash to splash, or there's some accessible way to get him, that's going to be the problem. And I guess neither. Oh, here's my free energy. Let's claim that. And so, whether or not I'm able to get there, that's going to be the big question. The more money you have, obviously, the better chance you have. But
Right.
I'm wondering if, as a light spender, if I'll have any chances, and that's what I would be interested going forward. I think for what the expectation is for
So
legendaries at this point in
yeah.
time, anyways.
And if it goes like Galaxy Heroes, what'll happen is the Elrond event will be here for like a week and then it'll go away. And then it'll come back at some unspecified time frame. So you might be looking at a quarter, 2 or 3 months. So most likely, somebody that's not willing to just drop the wallet on the initial spend will be looking at that second go around
Yes,
to get Elrond unlocked.
10 shards of Elro here.
Nice job.
Well, while we're on the video here, I was like,
I'm
maybe.
getting ready for 5 stars now, so I've already pivoted over to
Yeah.
Naramiri. And I'm definitely farming the elves every day. So my thought is I'll have Elro here, Naramiri, the one guy we were talking about we don't like. I can't remember his name.
Lomian. Yeah, he's part of the
Lomian.
Rivendell team. That's why. So
Yeah, and then I'll have Arwen and Eladon, and that's my 5 team. And now again, we're still assuming that it's a really good assumption at this point. It makes all the sense in the world, but we're still making that assumption that the data mine is right.
This is right.
and
Yeah.
yeah. So, but
Oh my gosh.
it's a pretty darn good assumption that, especially Elro here is his son. He's going to be in the event.
Yeah, I mean, there were some people in my YouTube chat, my YouTube comments, who were suggesting that it would be Road to Rivendell, and I thought this was far too obvious. They also chucked out like massive Hobbit packs in the beginning, so like I just didn't think that was going to be it. But there was a lot of people that were convinced that it was somehow Road to Rivendell, but no, I think that was a bit too obvious. So what I'm really hoping is that they don't just pull the rug out from us, and now after I've started farming all these elves, they're like, nope, it's actually Isengard, and something weird like that.
They won't do that. It won't be that bad. The data mines, they do put stuff in there to throw you off, like, the initial Witch King stuff that was in there. But I don't see them. There's always logic to the events, right? In Galaxy Heroes, you use Jedi to get Yoda. You use a team of rebels to get Palpatine. It always makes sense for what you're going to get with them. I guess that might say there'd be orcs to get Elrond, but the marquees always indicate what is coming up for the next event, and those marquees are elves, and they're related to Elrond. So I'm pretty confident that's what it's going to be.
So my final question to you then, since you said you're building elves, or you're going to be building elves, how many light crystals do you have, and do you have enough?
I have a lot.
Do you? Okay.
Yeah, I'm not buying those packs like crazy, but when I see a $20 pack with crystals in there, I buy it.
Because you need a lot. Like, I did a video the other day talking about how many crystals you need per gear tier, and just to get to G6, I needed 60. About 60 light crystals to get through to G6, and I was like, wow, and that's just G6 because there's still 2 more to go after that.
Right. I have 97 right now.
That'll get you not even 2 characters to G6. So
I know, and I've got Elro here at gear 5 right now, so I need 1 more gear level on him. I don't have any gold, but yeah. So yeah. I'm definitely pushing him, but yeah, when I see the packs with crystals, that's what I get. If there's one thing you need in the game, that's what it is.
I'm finding this to be almost as bad of a crunch as XP token or XP modules or whatever you want to call them for me. It's XP first, and then it's going to be light crystals or just crystals in general, for whatever team that you're building, because this is huge. I'm farming outside of my shard farms. I'm farming this every day, like from the nodes, and just hoping for the best. So
there you go.
Sink or swim, I guess. I'm hoping that elves are the team. Otherwise, I'm going to feel really bad about this investment, but I think it would be very weird for a legendary character to come out and the team not be good. Otherwise, that'd be a fail on their part.
100%.
So, all right, and I think that's it. Elves talk, Elrond talk, roster talk, all of that. Let's hope we make it through the next week alive. And Arwen's coming out on Thursday, I think. I forget which day now. I think it's Thursday. Thursday
morning, yeah. I'll unlock her. I have to go to work, so I'll be in the afternoon, but... Yeah, if everybody, you want to come over, anybody that's watching, jump over to the channel, Nooch Too Good, and hang out and be there for when I unlock Elrond on day 1.
You doing a live stream for that when you get back from work?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I may have a costume involved. I'll let you know.
Oh, okay. Well, I'll leave the link in the description below for the channel, of course, for you, so people can go check that out if they're interested in, and who knows, maybe I'll be by as well. So, thanks for coming along on the channel, Nooch. Of course, glad to have you here, and if you want to come back, just feel free to let me know.
All right, Boilon, we'll get together again.
Thanks. And for everyone else watching here, until next time, stay safe and healthy. I'll see you all later, and I'll see you on Arwen. Boilon signing out. I screwed that up. Doesn't matter. Whatever. We're out. Bye.